fourth grade. For your library lesson today, we're going to continue on with your design challenge. Remember last time we started the first 3 steps where we asked and imagined and planned, and now we're going to put that plan into action and do step number 4 where we create. I also want to take just a little bit of time to do some more research too. I'm going to be showing you a video clip to get started first of Apollo 11. And if you watch closely, you'll be able to see one of those lunar landers that's in it. And then I'm also going to show you some pictures too and give you some tips on when you actually do create. And you'll be able to use either the materials in your kit, or if you have other materials around you or at home that you want to use, that's perfectly okay too. All right, let's get started.
Get ready for things you want to know. Have you ever been on a road trip? How about a 3-day road trip? That's about how long it takes to get to the moon. 3 American astronauts began their road trip to the moon on July 16, 1969. Neil Armstrong, Michael Collins, and Edwin Buzz Aldrin blasted off in the Apollo 11 spacecraft from the Kennedy Space Center in Florida on a mission that would change the world forever. Back on Earth, 600 million people all over the globe watched this incredible expedition. Before touching down, the trio split up. Collins stayed on board Apollo 11's command module, the Columbia, where he would remain in orbit around the moon. Armstrong and Aldrin boarded the lunar module, the Eagle, an aircraft designed for 2 astronauts to land on the moon's surface. Wearing bulky spacesuits and backpacks of oxygen to breathe, Neil Armstrong stepped out, becoming the first person to walk on the moon. Shortly after, Buzz Aldrin joined his partner, launching themselves into the history books. Armstrong and Aldrin spent about 2 hours exploring and collecting samples of the moon to bring back to Earth. But before getting back on board, they left behind a few mementos: their backpacks, an American flag, a small gold pin shaped like an olive branch, and a patch from the never-launched Apollo 1 mission. All was going well, until one of the astronauts accidentally knocked loose the circuit breaker that fires up the engine to get them back to the orbiting command module. Collins was their only ride home, but it was Buzz Aldrin who saved the day with a pen, pushing the breaker back in place. The spacemen re-entered the Earth's atmosphere, splashing down in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, marking the first successful human-operated spacecraft to the moon and back. Mission accomplished, and the world celebrated their safe return. Humans set foot on the moon. What planet is next?
You got a bunch of guys about to turn blue. We're breathing again. Thanks a lot.
Now let's take a look at some vocabulary that we just saw in action in that video clip. So lunar lander, when we're referring to a lunar lander, that's spacecraft designed to land on the moon. And some different parts of the lunar lander here. The landing gear helps during landing by absorbing the impact and keeping the lunar lander upright. And then the landing probes, it's a device that attaches to the bottom of the landing gear and senses when the lander is approaching the surface of the moon. And you have this diagram in your kit too that show the landing gear and the landing probes. Now let's take a look at some pictures of the actual Apollo 11 lunar model. This was called Eagle, and this was the lander spacecraft that was flown between lunar orbit and the moon's surface during the U.S. Apollo program, and there you can see it in flight there. Now to actually build yours, I do have an example here to show you with the materials that you have, and eventually we'll be testing this out with the moon that we have as well. But think about how you can use these straws here to be each of those parts, to be each of the probes and the landers that you will need, so that way when it's landing down on that moon, it's going to stay upright. In Schoology, in the folder for this week and then the appropriate day, you'll just see two things. Of course, the video that we're watching now, but then right here it says submit a photo of your lunar lander. So what you're doing is just creating, following your plan, using the materials in your kit, or you're welcome to use other materials that you have at home and take either a photo or video of your creation. So you're going to click the submissions tab over here, and on yours you will see a blue plus sign in the top corner here. And the second option down will be to insert a photo or video to be able to upload it. So we are not filling out any papers in your packets this time around, and we're not testing them yet. We're just creating. All right, I hope you have fun building and creating your lunar landers.